My name's Shaun Morrow. I'm an accountant here with Cook Martin Polson. I'm here today to talk to you about the business use of home deduction. This is a great deduction available to business owners who run their business exclusively out of their home. There are two methods available to calculate this deduction, but before we get into those different types of methods, just want to discuss briefly the qualifications that you need to meet in order to qualify for this deduction. So in order to qualify, the office space that you use must be your principal place of business, meaning that you have no other fixed location where you conduct substantial administrative or management duties from. The office space must be used exclusively for business purpose. It can't have any dual purposes, such as also doubling as your living room, a bedroom, a playroom, anything like that. So it must be exclusively used for business purposes. The one exception to this is if you do run a home daycare. In that case, there can be dual purposes for your home space. It must also be used regularly for business, so this must be used in your regular course of business on a regular basis. And lastly, you can use this deduction for the storage of inventory and product samples that are used in your business, as long as there's a designated space for the inventory and samples. If you meet these requirements, you can take advantage of the deduction by using either the regular method or the simplified method. When you use the regular method, you deduct a portion of the actual expenses used to upkeep and maintain your home. This is done based on the percentage of your home that is actually used for business. So for example, if your home is 3,000 square feet and you have a home office of 300 square feet, 10% of your home would be considered as used for business. You then use this percentage, 10% in this case, to allocate the total qualifying home expenses used as business deductions. The qualifying expenses for the business use of your home deduction include real estate taxes, mortgage interest, rent, casualty losses, utilities, repairs and maintenance, and the insurance for your home. So carrying on with that same example, if your mortgage interest is $5,000 for the year, you can take 10%, or in this case $500 of that, as a business deduction. For all of these expenses that are typically itemized deductions, such as the mortgage interest or the property tax, you can actually still continue to use those as itemized deductions. You would just use the remaining amount left over after you use the business deduction. You can also allocate the same percentage towards the depreciation of your home. However, keep in mind when you do this that you do need to recapture that amount when you sell your home. So there can be some additional taxes assessed at that point that you'll definitely want to keep in mind. The other method available for calculating this deduction is the simplified method. As the name suggests, this one is much simpler. You actually just take the square footage of your office space up to 300 square feet times $5 per square foot for a deduction of up to $1,500. The benefit of doing this is that you don't have to deal with the record keeping track of all of your home expenses for the year. It also doesn't take into account any of the actual home expenses, including the depreciation, so there wouldn't be any sort of recapture on that depreciation amount that we talked about a moment ago. So it's definitely a simpler method. It might not be as large of a deduction, but it is simpler and keeps things a little more streamlined for you that way. If you do have any other questions about the business use of home deduction, definitely feel free to reach out to us here at Cook Martin Polson, and we'd be happy to help you with your specific needs.